Recap. My mother, 37, had me, 20 male, young. She was never a mother to me, and I was raised by my grandparents and later my uncle, 34. When I was 8, my grandma got sick and my uncle, who was 22 then, started taking me in and I moved with him full time. I only saw my mother for family events and she was always criticizing me on how I looked, my hobbies and what I liked. Later I refused to talk to and or see her. When I was 18, my uncle proposed to adopt me legally, so I decided to go and see my mother one last time to inform her and have some closure. During this talk, she told me my father's name. I talked to my family about him and long story short, everyone knows him. His family lived in the same town as my great-grandparents and my family used to go there every holiday. I decided to try and meet him with my uncle. He, 36, moved back a few years ago to be close to his family and took everything well. I did make sure to inform him that I already had a dad. He told me he had no children and was interested in knowing me. He presented me to his parents. They even found pictures of me with him from before he went to college. For the last 2 years, we've had a pretty great relationship. The issue is his girlfriend, Anna. They don't live together and have been a couple for over 3 years. She made it clear that I had no place here. I only see her when I eat with him at his parents'. She still makes it clear that I don't belong in this family. When I ask a question, she tells me stuff like, "If you were part of the family, you should know," always pointing out physical differences. So it was a surprise when she called me last week. I thought it was an emergency, so I answered. She told me that she wanted to move in with my dad, but he refused because he knew we don't get along, and he wanted his house to be a safe place for me, and he was afraid I would come by less if she were here all the time. It's the truth. She then told me I should put my grudges aside and try to be nicer to her for my father's sake. I told her no. I had years of therapy to remove toxic people from my life. Being with her is like being with my mom. I do not want to put myself in this kind of situation anymore. Update. Am I the idiot for refusing to play nice to my father's girlfriend and by doing so, preventing them from moving in together? After reading your comments, I realized what the issue was. My bio dad or his family never made me feel like that, but after hearing a lot of people saying it, it got to me, and I realize now that I was restraining myself not to disappoint my bio dad. I guess in my mind I had to work and be nice to have this affection because I didn't deserve it. You can blame my bio mom for that. Anyway, after realizing that, I also realized that I never told him and his parents how his girlfriend was treating me, and I also realized she was smart enough to do it when they were all out of earshot. I'm a non-confrontational person, and I was scared to say everything at once to my bio dad, and I was afraid of not being able to express everything I wanted to convey correctly. I talked to my uncle about it, and he proposed to make an appointment with a therapist to have a kind of family session, so it would be easier for me to express myself. We did it before in our family, and it helped me a lot. We talked about it to my bio dad, and he immediately agreed. He could sense that something was off. Anyway, during the session I exploded. I started talking and couldn't stop myself. At first, I felt like it made no sense because I was saying everything and nothing at once, but luckily the therapist helped a lot. After that, we all had a very long talk and put everything on the table. My bio dad had no idea that it was this bad with his girlfriend, and he was really appalled and remorseful for not realizing it. One thing that angered him and my uncle a lot was the comment about me not looking like my dad, which I never took notice of because it's true. My mom and uncle are half Filipino, and I took everything from the Filipino side except his dimples. Apparently, the comments about me not being part of the family were because of my racial background, so yeah, on top of everything, she was racist. All of this happened last month, and since then he broke up with her, and I try to be more honest about what I feel without being afraid of what he thinks. He also proposed to continue family therapy if I felt it would help me discuss certain topics. This relationship is still a work in progress, but honestly I feel terrific about it. So again, thank you all for your help and your kind words. Yay! Good for you. Congrats on your new beginnings. You save yourself from an awful situation, your bio dad and your relationship, and your bio dad from continuing a horrible relationship, all by communicating. I hope you know how brave that was and have learned how powerful communication can be. Continue doing the work, and things will improve over time. I'm sorry that your bio mother and bio dad's ex have shown you such poor examples of maternal figures. I hope your grandma showed you what a mom was supposed to be like. Also, I hope you know what you don't want in future partners, whatever gender. Best of luck to you and the family that you have chosen. My ex and I broke up 5 years ago after a year-long relationship. He broke up with me and I took it very hard back then. I can't say I did anything crazy apart from a few weeks after the breakup getting intoxicated on a night out and sending him some embarrassing texts. It was the worst heartbreak I've ever had, and it didn't help that he kept messaging me to be friends even though I tried to set boundaries and say I needed space to heal. Anyway, that's all in the past. I have indeed healed from that and I'm over him. He recently married a girl he started dating 2 months after we broke up. Honestly, I'm happy for him. Good for them. On the other hand, I've dated since then but haven't been able to find anyone worth marrying. I haven't even had another serious relationship since him. He's still on the periphery of my social circle because we still have a lot of mutual friends from uni, and sometimes I see both of them in social settings. However, while he and I have buried the hatchet, and usually chat when we happen to be in the same room for a bit, although we never text or meet up outside of these contexts, his wife and I have always treated each other with polite disinterest. I know she doesn't like me. An important note about her is that she's been unemployed for a long time. I don't know if it's because she wants to be a stay-at-home wife, a completely valid choice if that's her thing, or because she's been unable to find work, but she hasn't worked in many years despite having a master's degree. I've been able to advance in my career in the past 5 years and I'm quite far ahead in my field for someone my age, and I'm very proud of myself because I worked extremely hard. Anyways, here's the issue. The other day a bunch of people went for drinks. I came. They were both there. They were all sitting at the same table in a bar. Someone I hadn't seen in a while asked me if I was dating anyone. I replied, "No, not right now." My ex's wife quickly made a snarky comment. It's okay, some people just stay single," in front of everyone, like 10 of our friends. Without missing a beat, I blurted out, "Yeah, just like some people are meant to stay unemployed." She got really upset, cried, and left. Her husband messaged me that I should apologize to her for embarrassing her. I said I will if she apologized first. He said she refused because what I said was worse, apparently. Am I the idiot? LOL, not the way I thought this would go. Not the idiot. People need to learn not to start crap unless they can handle someone else finishing it for them. I have zero sympathies for idiots that are inexplicably rude and then have the audacity to act offended when the object of their rudeness fails to accept it passively. What she did and said was uncalled for. What you replied with is gold, LOL. She seems jealous of your achievements and that her husband still keeps in contact with you. Looks like a lot of insecurity on her end. Everyone's the idiot here. I'm not sure if I agree with people saying you're not over him. Honestly, I think you might just be frustrated about being single while your ex is in a happy relationship, which does suck. I do agree you're spending too much time here and giving your ex too much space in your head. Put some distance between yourself and him. Meet new people and you can avoid this snippy drama. I work in a warehouse with about 26 other people. I've been there for 5 years now. I have a Japanese Akita and these dogs shed a lot. One of my new co-workers is allergic to dogs. This has caused an issue. When they use the break room, they start sneezing a lot. I have pictures of my dog at my workstation so they know I have him. It's not a secret or anything. They went to the boss and said they needed to be accommodated because of their medical condition. He came to me and asked if I could please do anything. So I kept a clean set of coveralls in my locker and put them on as soon as I got to work. Apparently this wasn't good enough. So I started just staying out of the break room. Nope, if they came into my zone, they started sneezing. Finally, they told my boss that I should be forced to get rid of my dog because it was affecting their work. The thing is, I know I'm not the only one with a dog. At least 3 of the guys I work with have dogs. I told my boss that I would never consider rehoming my dog and they could just take some Benadryl or something. Now they're crying that they might have to quit because they can't work here. I just don't care, but they certainly do. They say I'm an idiot for prioritizing my dog over their livelihood. I thought you were bringing the dog to work and ignoring their allergies. But no, they're just moaning that you have a dog. If you volunteered to change your overalls and stay out of the break room, you've done everything realistically possible to accommodate them. It's an absolute joke that they'd even suggest making a random co-worker rehome their dog when, as you said, they can just take some Benadryl. Agreed. Your job should never be in a position to ask you to change your home life. What you do off the clock, who or what you have in your house, is your own business. What will this co-worker do if they see a dog in the street, a service dog in a coffee shop? The world can't cater to them. They have to cater to their issues. Not the idiot, and take it up with HR. Also, I find it super suspect that this co-worker is supposedly so allergic to dogs they react even when OP changes into clean coveralls. Their co-worker couldn't ride aeroplanes without reacting, even if there wasn't a dog on the flight. Also, if 3 other co-workers have dogs, why is OP specifically singled out? I'm not saying the food worker is faking their allergy, but something's not adding up here. OP, take the dog's picture down. Say he's gone now. Keep dog. And then, when a co-worker's allergies mysteriously clear up, go to HR and the manager and tell them the whole story, citing the co-worker for creating a hostile work environment for you. I, 26 female, have a special needs daughter, tween, that I struggle with getting to eat meals. She is extremely picky, sensitive about food, loses interest in eating and usually isn't hungry at traditional times. I've struggled for years to get her to eat meals with me, but to no avail. Trying too hard usually deters her worse, so we've created a system where I stock up the bulk on foods and snacks she's willing to eat. She goes to get what she wants when she's hungry throughout the day, and we've managed to get her to maintain her weight. My sister Jeannie, 28, asked to move into my apartment when her boyfriend left her and the kids a few months ago. She has 3 kids under 6 years old. Her kids are wild and always into everything. I don't mind them acting like kids, but I worry about them getting hurt. I told my sister she needed to do a better job of keeping her kids safe. She took that and ran with it, getting child safety locks on almost everything. I didn't mind because I felt more secure knowing they couldn't stick keys in sockets or get into the bleach. However, she recently added a lock to our fridge because her middle son, toddler, has a food allergy. He figured out how to open the fridge and came very close to eating something he was allergic to before his sister, young child, noticed. I agreed to try out the lock because it was easy enough to get open for me. Unfortunately, it wasn't so easy for my daughter. In fact, she needs help getting it open. When I notice her by the fridge, I try to get it open quickly so she can get what she wants, but usually by the time I see her there, she's lost interest. Because of this, she's been eating less. I told my sister she had to get rid of the lock because it affected my kid. It turned into a fight because she accused me of trying to hurt her son by having foods he's allergic to in the fridge, and how the lock is for his safety. I offered to move the offending food up higher, but apparently he could climb. Our fight spiraled and I told her she had to remove it and watch her kids better, so the lock wasn't needed. She refused again and said she'd do what she had to do for her kid. So when she left, I removed the lock and threw it away. When she got back and noticed, we got into another fight. We've been feuding over it for the last 3 days and she said today she's going to get a new one. I asked my mum about it, but she's taking her side since my nephew can get sick from the food if he gets it, while my daughter is still eating, even if it's not as much. Am I the idiot in this situation? Wow, I am so sorry you're going through this. What started as a kind favour has become a big source of stress and anxiety. Not the idiot. You were doing your sister a favour, and at the end of the day, this is still your home and you have to protect your child. Sounds like Jeannie needs to move out and get her own place to control everything in her living environment. Tell your sis that you are happy to help her get back on her feet, but you need to keep your child safe and she needs to keep her children safe, and at this point they need opposite things. So give her 30 or 60 days to find a place. Oh, it's really easy. Kick her out. Now. I'm sorry her kid has allergies, but your daughter is starving herself because she can't open the fridge and your sister is a lazy parent that can't bother to keep an eye on her kid. Heck no. If she wants a locked fridge, she can have it in her own home. My mom got married recently. My mom really isn't big into taking pictures. She thinks only ugly and insecure people care about them, but that is a whole other issue. Though there was a photographer. My mom wanted a picture with her kids, just her kids and not our partners. My wife felt that was rude and asked if there would be a family picture. My mom said no, as she only wants a couple of pictures and thinks taking them is a waste of time. I don't think much of it. I mean, we are her kids. Why can't she want one picture with just us? My wife said it was bad etiquette, couples are a package deal, and asked me not to take the picture. My mom said fine, she didn't want any pictures with anyone but the groom. I asked why she couldn't just take a family picture and include our partners. My mum said she didn't want to as my wife was being difficult and she doesn't believe marriage is about family anyway, especially a second marriage when she doesn't like his kids and he doesn't like me. She told us just to go away and let her take a few pictures with him. As we walked away, I asked if that was necessary. I said my mom is allowed to want a picture with just her bio kids and the package deal shouldn't mean joined at the hip. I said she was acting like a brat and making someone else's wedding about her. She was hurt and, needless to say, didn't speak to me for the rest of the evening. She still thinks that I'm an idiot and I'm enabling my mom. Rule of thumb: if you're going to someone else's wedding, don't whine, pout, and make everything all about you. Apparently, your wife missed that memo. It was your mom's wedding. It didn't matter what anyone else wanted. And if the situations were reversed, the whole internet would have come down on your mother for forcing her desires on her daughter-in-law's wedding. You're not the idiot. You're just right. Everyone's the idiot here. Your wife is being difficult by pushing the issue of couples being a package deal. I think wanting a picture of you and your children at a wedding is fine. Your mom is being difficult. She hired a photographer. She's taking pictures with her new husband and wants a picture with her children, so she can't use the "I don't like pictures" excuse. It would have taken 5 minutes at most to take a whole group family picture with spouses included. This is such a minor issue that I wonder why your wife was like this. Are you sure there's not something more here? Both of them are choosing stupid hills to die on.